presentation now. Okay. So, okay. So we'll be continuing. Let's recap a bit lah, overall for this chapter. For this chapter, it's mainly all about how can we do our part to try to successfully working under poor leadership. So this chapter, we try to focus on uh, what we can do and how to do our best to deal with uh, leaders with poor leadership, and then to try to make the best out of a situation. Then last week we have gone through 5 questions, which is first one: how can we succeed with a leader who is difficult to work with, and which we have to it has brought us through a series of questions or a series of uh, ways to for us to go through when we deal with uh, common leaders that have poor leadership. So, in order for us to do our part from our self leadership, trying to create a better situation from out of it, instead of letting the whole progress uh, become worse lah. So try to either uh, convince something out of the discussion with your leader or leave the organization. Yeah. Then after that, we gone into a few different types of poor leaders, like question two, leaders who doesn't like you. Question three, leaders who lacks vision. Question four, leaders who are indecisive and inconsistent. And question five, leaders who have poor attitude and have character problems. So these are a few types of leader that we have gone through in last week. So maybe just some extra things to consider when we need to when we are facing these types of leader lah. On on top of the first question, the first question is the one that we've gone through is a common one that we can apply for all for all types of leaders, but then it also go into specific problems lah for different type of leader, then we can address them specifically. So for this week, it will be starting with how can we work with difficult leaders who acts like a bully. But before that, any question from you all for the previous session? No. Yes. Hello. Okay. Actually, after going through I think this week will be quite fast because the questions are quite short and simple lah. Okay. So for this one, number 6, uh, how would you work with a difficult leader who has acts like a bully? So Actually, the book mentioned that Institute report that 30%, 35% of American workforce has experienced repeated mistreatment by one or more employees that takes the form of either verbal abuse, threats, intimidation, humiliation, or sabotage of work performance. So I wonder whether you all have this kind of experience. Maybe can share if you guys got, because I think also it is quite common in workplace that have bullies because of people put positional leadership emphasize too much, then it becomes a privilege. People take it as a privilege and they impose all kinds of bullying. Then uh, it also it also costs like for us when we join the company, and then when we realize that how come the company so toxic one, or how come the company they assign workload so much, then but what we say is that uh, oh, this is just the company culture, and then we make it as something that is very common. Yeah, so I think this is what we in Malaysia commonly face. Any comments, are you guys? Maybe you guys want to share something about this or any experience? Nothing? No? Hmm. Did you have something to say? Hmm. No, I mean, just sharing, like any experience from you or what you something that you have heard for. Like actually, we might not realize it, but then maybe it's actually quite common. Like if we share out, then we realize, hey, it's actually quite common. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Shoot. Good. Okay. Anyone else? No. Okay, so then maybe we can. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everyone is good to it's good lah to not experience uh this kind of thing.
Hey,
Yes, yes. Hello. Yeah.
are we still allowed to
Yeah.
share?
Sorry.
Are we still allowed to share?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Sure, sure.
Okay, so just like the question is on what the boss, is it workplace bullying, as in the boss bully the employee, is it?
Sorry, sorry.
Is it like the boss bullying the employee?
Um. Yeah. Not really boss lah. Maybe
Superior. Ah?
superior.
Oh, I see. So, I had this very bad experience with this. She's a lady boss lah. Okay, they are husband and
Mm-hmm.
wife. So I
Mm.
worked there for I think 2 weeks only, and then I quit my job. Well, I'm not really quit my job, but I got fired. But it was my mistake, but it was her fault also lah. Well, because that time they hire me as a copywriter, and I had no
Mm.
experience in copywriting at all. And they say that they will train me, and then they say, okay, it's okay, you just come, because they think that my English is good and I can help them with the copywriting and stuff like that. So I said, okay, I've no experience, so I'll just come in and learn that. And
Mm-hmm.
so I have no senior to proofread my work, and only the lady boss is the one that's supposed to proofread my work. Then only she bring the, like, say for example they are doing a magazine, okay, to print lah. So she did. She asked me to do within. I just worked for 2 weeks, right?
Mm.
And
Right.
that's like after 2 week, and then she gave me this project to do. It's quite a big project lah. It's not a thick magazine, that kind of like a lot of advertisement kind of magazine. What do you call that? Um.
Um.
Okay lah. Never mind lah. Just magazine lah. So what happened was, I do all my work already according to all the information that she gave me, and then she didn't really proofread my work, and she straight away bring it to print the whole stack. She printed the whole thing, so there are like few thousands of copy.
Oh,
And
2000.
then after printed out and realized there's some mistake inside. So it's like, if there's any mistake inside, it's not my fault already, ma. You are the one who never proofread my work, and then she put the blame on me, say that I bring loss to the company. I was like, you didn't even ask me to amend those mistakes, and then you straight away bring it to print it. And not only that, she got so mad, and then she scolded me, and she didn't want to pay my salary. And then after that, the worst thing is, she even posted on Facebook and say all the bad things about me. Say, nowadays all the degree students are so blah 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 blah. Their English is so damn bad, blah blah blah. Things like that. I'm like, walao, this kind of boss, is so not professional. And put it on Facebook. And in the first place, you are the one who say that my English is good. You want to hire me as a copywriter, and then after that, you put a post on Facebook, and you go and like, complain about another person, and that kind of this one. So I feel this type of boss are very horrible. That kind of this one. And then in the end, they didn't want to pay me as well. But they are quite bad. They didn't pay like their ex staffs as well. So this is the experience that I had in the workplace and bullied by a boss. So that's my sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Really
it's
bad. Horrible.
but they are still functioning now though. But they changed a lot of stuff already.
Yes.
All the old stuff left as well.
So, surely turnover rate very high.
Yeah, the staff turnover is very high.
Okay, so maybe we move on to see how we can deal with this kind of boss who this kind of boss or leader who likes to act like a bully. So first one is we try to be confident in our own value. So for this kind of bully or for those comments that they put on us, for those things that they say towards us, the book try to the book also mentioned that the best way to deal about it is to let it go. Just don't listen to it. Don't entertain those kind of thoughts. And then for us, there's one word that says that if the boat it's the boat on the ocean, if the boat itself it doesn't have any hole for the water to come in, then the boat will never sink. So it goes same like us. So this uh this helps us to for this we have to remember that uh we need to be confident in our own value, and then know that where our value is. So if we ourselves strong enough to protect our own value, then we can not we cannot buy into what they say. So even if we do everything right, there's no guarantee that others won't treat you wrong. So it is very easy for people to just decide not to like you today, then start putting the blame on you, and then say those bad things lah. But then, yeah, for yourself, you just need to be confident lor, and to choose what words to listen. Then next, it's do not accept the blame that doesn't belong to you. So this is important also lah, to not to uh, stay quiet, and then because bullies like to look for someone to blame. If anything's go wrong, they don't look for a solution first. They will look for someone to blame first, to make sure that they they are not the one who is doing the fault, or who is doing the wrong thing, to try to throw it on others as fast as possible. Yeah. So for us, we if it's our fault, we own up to it. But if it's not don't take the blame, because when they succeed in doing once, then they will try to do it again and again and again on you again. Then lastly is that refuse to be a victim. For us, we can't do everything, but we can always do some things. So for us, we cannot prevent others from treating us poorly, but we can decide how we want to respond. Take the proactive approach lah, in other words. Try to not caring too much about what other people think, so that we ourselves uh, can we are able to think for ourselves and propagate ideas which are very often unpopular, and then we can succeed in this. I wonder, sir is here. Have anything to add on?
One thing very important. I just want to look into the psychology of a bully. Worthwhile for us to think, why is a bully a bully? Why does a person want to bully? Okay. Usually a bully have a wrong perception of self. And once you have a wrong perception, that means they do not have a correct picture of themselves. And very often, think about it. Would a secure, confident person bother to waste time bullying other people? No, If I'm confident about what I want, if I am already achieving what I want, and if I am secure about what I am, why do I need to bully? I'll be happy doing my thing and fulfilling what I want to do. I don't want to waste time on other people who may not meet up to help me with what I want to do. So a bully usually is one who feels insecure. When you are insecure, you need to step on other people to get higher. That's why one of the things very interesting about life is that, right? Usually, people who are insecure need to step on other people in order to get higher. People who are secure and confident about who they are, they know how high they are, and they know they are able to get higher on their own. They don't need to step on other people to get higher. But a person who is not capable, who doesn't have the capability, right, will probably put a lot of effort trying to step on other people to get higher, isn't it? So realize this: if you play their game, right, then you will end up in the fight. This is one thing very important for us to realize. Don't play the game. Don't need to play the game of a bully. Don't play the game with a bully. Don't play not say play the game of a bully. Don't play the game with a bully. When you play a game with the bully, there are two ways you can play a game with the bully. You are fighting with the bully to try to either stop the bully from stepping on you, or you try to step on the bully. Or the other way to play the game with the bully is the bully need a victim. You cooperate as a victim. But if you don't play the game, the bully cannot bully you. You go away, you step away from being bullied. You know your rights, right? and yet you also understand, hey, I don't need to fight you. Actually, I pity you. So I stay away from you when you are not in your right mind to talk. That's why you need to be clear. You need to be strong enough to not be a bully, to fight back, or to not be a victim, so that the bully can bully you. That's why your sense of who you are is very important. Don't get aggravated to fight back because you don't want the bully to bully you, so you push back, or you don't want to give up and end up complying to be the victim. Okay, so you step out of the whole picture. Step out completely and say, oh, this guy, okay, I understand where he's coming from. I agree with the person, but actually the person is very insecure. So now how can I help this person in his insecurity? Despite the fact that he's a boss, he's a leader. Which also means this, a lot of people end up being the victim simply because they look at the boss as the boss and they are afraid of their position as an employee. They're afraid of losing their employment. When you are insecure, because you put yourself in the insecure position, once you have something that the boss can hold on to, that you are afraid of losing, and the boss can manipulate you with that. So the question in this case is, for Malaysian employee especially, are you secure enough? Are you confident enough with your own self and with your own capability to say that, okay, if I cannot work here, I can always work somewhere else. I can always find a job somewhere else. I know my potential. I know my capability. The company is going to lose somebody who can contribute to the company. That's all. Okay, I can always find another company. Now, once you make that stand, confidence of your contribution and your value that you can add, then the boss cannot manipulate. Use the employment. Use the fact that he can control and he can decide whether he fire you or demote you or never promote you or never give you increment. You block the boss from manipulating you like that, because once he can manipulate you, then the boss can bully you. Can? Okay, if no comment, then to Jameson. How to help another person to be confident? Is that what you're saying?
Hello?
Yeah. How? That means, yeah. Yep. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
I can hear you.
Can hear?
Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Hello. Okay, okay. Now, okay, one thing very important. You cannot help a person be confident. You cannot help another person be confident. Confident is a mindset. As you think, so you are. As you think, not as another person think about you. As you yourself think, you are. That's why this foundation training that we are talking about, you always go back there. But you can help to instill the thinking. That's what our class is about. That's what YMAT is about. That's why YMAT have this continuous input. It's called brainwashing. If I want to use a not so good term lah. Okay. The better term is habit, building the habit. Now you have to instill. Okay. YMAT have a lot of people who started off poor confident, but you notice after few months, after 1 year, if they continue to listen, what happened? Slowly, their mindset change. And when their mindset change, they begin to think better or think more correctly about self. Then they gain confidence about self. Confidence is whether you think the positive thought or the negative thought about self. When you think a negative thought about self, right? How can you be confident? You negative feeling. It creates a negative feeling. It creates a doubt. Once you think a positive, a realistic thought about yourself, right? Eventually you create stability. Once you overthink, overconfident, you think of your capability too much. That's pride. That's called overconfident. That's why the key is when people lack confidence, right? It usually they have negative. That means they listen to all the negative comment about self too much to the point where it is not the correct. It is more negative. Nobody is all negative and nobody is all positive. We are in a fallen world. We are in a broken world. But broken world doesn't mean there is no value in our original creation. Can see that? Can understand what I'm saying? So the key is discovering that, and then the key is that's right for us as a friend, as a coach, as a mentor. I can't change any of your confidence. None of your confidence is changed by me. All your confidence is changed by you. How do you do that? Very simple. By opening your ear and your heart to the words I say, or to the words the book say, or to the words the class keep repeating. And that's why I always encourage you, never stop attending class. Because it's not whether you learn one time. It's not. Because you can't replace the old habitual thinking with one lesson. You keep repeat. I know it's boring, but repeat, right? Until it's habitual. It's the same like all the expert like a basketball player when they shoot the hoops? Why they shoot so accurately? Why every day they shoot hundreds of hoops until the exact amount of strength, exact angle of your arm, of your finger, right, repeats itself so that it should enter the hoop. Same thing. So for us, what we can do if we want to help another person increase confidence, recognize we cannot do it, but we can create an environment that can help them do it, provided they cooperate and open their ears and their heart. So what do? You take the initiative, go to them. That's why Bible says one thing, how beautiful are the feet of those people who carry good news. Good news means what? Good news is any constructive, helpful remedy that can improve anybody, that can help make anybody better, that can help make life better. That's the good news. So for us, once we understand how it will help the other person become better, hey, we are. Right? And we have the responsibility. That's why for us, each one of us, that's why I do what I do. And why do I go to the class and invite you all? Come to the class and every week for 8 years. It is the 8 years of you listening to repeated lesson until you're bored, right? Sometimes you are bored. Sometimes you feel like, oh dear, today again. Wow, today is Wednesday again. Correct? It does. That's called discipline. So why do I do it? Why do I make your life so difficult? That's what you have to do, Jin Lee. That's what you all have to do if you really want to help another person. Now, if I ask you, how did you become more confident? All of you have become more confident. Am I not right? Compared to the moment before you joined YMAT. All of you have become more confident. How come? What did I do? Nothing. I just create the class only for the words to keep entering your ear. Keep going. Keep poking only. Poking your ear and poking your heart and poking your mind. Until sometimes you are irritated. Right? And some of you are bored with Edmund Tan. Every day here, Edmund Tan, I wish I can hear somebody a bit more different, more exciting, not so boring. Boring is because too often already. But it's not whether boring or not. It's the lesson. It's the lesson that go in. Ken? I think sir sound is delay. Oh, okay. I have a lagging problem. Okay. I'm not using my computer. My computer having problem logging in. I'm using my tablet. Here the internet is very, very bad today. So maybe that's why lagging. So it takes a while to reach you all. Ken? Any question? Need any clarification? Basically, to summarize, it's the fundamental foundational training. As you think, so you are. So the key is, if you want to help somebody, how to help that person's thinking. That's it. Okay, sorry, Jin Lee, you were saying? Okay, Jameson.
Okay. So next we move into the next one. It's about how do we work with a leader who always plays it safe. Right. So sometimes we have this frustration of working with leaders that uh, have to be very, 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 very sure about something before they make a decision. Then that's why it says who difficult leaders who always plays it safe. And then they are like very, they have a lot of fear to make when they make decision. So for us, what can we do and how can we help them? So the book says that for us, we need to try to put ourselves in their shoes. So try to understand from their perspective, like, and then ask this question, like, where have they been? What have they experienced, or what is their background? Like maybe sometimes in their previous employment they have or in their uh, young working adult when they're young working adults, then they have made some decisions that are daring, but then it caused them to maybe lose their job or face a huge impact lah. So that's why it turned them into uh, into so much fear in making uh, making important decision or make changes lah. Yeah. So for us, try to understand that where have they been, their past experience, and then what do they feel, what is their feeling, and how do they deal with stress. So from there, we can somehow understand their thought process, and then we observe how they deal with stress. Then we can know like what is their biggest concern. Then uh, third is what do they want. So looking forward, what motivates them, what really matters to them in life, and then what are their hopes and dreams. So from there, we know that we can roughly know that what is it for them in their decision making. What is their values? What do they value the most? And then how do they rank? How do they rank their different things? So from uh, if you know how they rank, then you probably know that how to talk to them or how to use the things that they feel important and use that as a motivator and then for them to move forward. Yeah. So uh, next is the second point is that to try to acknowledge, acknowledge or teach them to acknowledge their feeling. So fear, it's sometimes if we understand and we know how to use them, it's also another good tool for us to make decision or yeah. sometimes for some people it really need until the fear is accumulate so much, then only they they can make the decision, because they because of the fear of getting scolded, uh, then that push them to make that decision. Yeah. So we acknowledge them, and then uh, also at the same time we can help them uh, build small wins, and build at the same time build their confidence. Then the last one is help them take action. So sometimes what people need are very actual fact. So for them, they need to see that, okay, the action, if I make this action, then it really can bring uh, more benefits than not taking the action. So then only they are willing to uh, make the action. Just they want to be really sure about it. Then if it's but for you, you know that the better, the earlier it is, the better. Yeah. So sometimes if can, for us, if we can take the risk, then we help them to make the action, take the action as well. So you got anything to add on for this part? For this question?
Back to your previous slide.
Yes, right.
Back to your previous slide. One slide before this.
So which one?
This is no before. Yes. Put yourself in their shoe. Just a thought. One simple, just a simple way to help you try to put yourself in their shoe. No. Just now the one, the first bit, the next slide. This one. This slide. Okay. Put yourself in their shoe. One way to try to put yourself in their shoe is to think about their nature and nurture. Most of you who have gone through the DISC training, we talked about this. Nature and nurture. AL also we talk about this, nature and nurture. This is how it helps. That's why understanding personality and all that helps. And understanding the person's background also helps. Okay, so a simple way for us to help us to try to put ourselves in their shoe. First, ask. Say this. Recognize this. Their personality is different from mine. Their nature is not the same as mine. So, for me, I will use the DISC. Oh, okay. The person is a high C. Or high C tends to put a lot of time to make sure they are 100% correct. Or they are high I. Oh, okay. If they are high I, they are more concerned. They cannot stand spending too much time doing research on their own. They need to be in the company of people, and they need people's approval. Something like that. So once recognizing their nature, right? You stop feeling so upset, because otherwise you are using your own standard to measure them. Then of course the next one is their nurture. But then in the work context, very often we don't know our boss's nurture. In other words, we don't know our boss's background, childhood background. That may have created some habitual behavior. So, well, if we know, then it helps. This is what it means by put ourselves in their shoe. Okay, I'm just providing some simpler steps to apply. Put yourself in your shoe. Okay, Ken.
Okay. Okay, so lastly, after more types of different leaders, then uh, if someone who had a higher position than you did not have good leadership skills, how would you go about running the organization in a respectful way? So basically, what this part try to say is that because it's very common to work under bosses that have poor leadership skills, so uh, it is very easy that we try to fight the boss when we face this kind of situation. So instead of fighting the boss, we can try to, if we want to be successful, we can try to help them instead. So we cannot be fighting against each other and then expecting the whole team can move forward at the same time. So firstly, understand our leaders. That's why we go through so many different types, and then so that we can understand, and then we can help them, and it helps ourselves also lah. When we help others, we help ourselves also, because when the leader win, then the whole team win. So in order to understand them, also again, also questions to ask is what is your heart? So means ask them what do they care about. So if the things is within our own power, then we can provide them. Then next is what is your hope? So what are the things that they want to do? So if they can align with our values, then we try to move towards together. Then understand also what caused them to hurt. So these are the things that they want to avoid. So if we can, we try to protect our leaders from that. Then lastly, it's how can I help? There are so many in a group. There are so many things to do, and then so see how do we play our own part, own your leader when our looking at it, let's say for promotion, if your leader a good result and then it helps your leader to promote, then who will they want to bring together with them? Surely it's those that help them the most and can win together with them. Yeah. So these are some of the things to understand your leader. Then Next is to understand your support role. So, in other words, is to do your best as a team player. So, if you already decided to go together with this leader, uh, just do your best in anything you do, anything you are assigned to do, or anything you have said you want to do. Yeah. So, third one also same lah. Bloom where you are planted. Also, follow through everything. Follow through on your task, your commitment. Because no matter good leader or bad leader, they also like workers who start and finishes well. Then the last two is to rise above others with a right attitude. So sometimes when we work the so our own the negative side and start to complain. So try to avoid that and always be positive and supportive. Then if you are able to if you are able to maintain that, then you will stand out among your among the followers. Then last one is sometimes even though we work work together, but then we cannot decide what the definition of success is. So sometimes it might be frustrating because this is what he wanted, or this is the value that he feel is important, but not for you. So, but then the reality is in the workplace, we are always accountable to someone. So we still have to try to uh, succeed on the terms of others. But if really feel that the values are really very different, then it is best that you leave because you don't want to spend the time to really build on something that you don't believe in. Yeah. So at the end of the chapter, uh, it also it's a reminder, like it's a reminder for us that uh, life's greatest reward comes from your inner self, from the choices you make, and from how you decide to live under whatever circumstances you find yourself in. So, in other words, it's to really remind ourselves is that to be proactive no matter what circumstances or which type of leader we are working, we have to work under, and that we really be focused on what we can do, the circle of control. So, you got anything to add on for the last question? Hello? Or anyone have any question?
Okay. For application of this chapter, let me say this: for application of this chapter, recognize this. It is not easy. It is super tough. Okay. However, however difficult it may be, you are already you are already in begin. You have already begin your journey, and you will need to continue the journey until you have developed sufficient personal security. Then you will begin to see effectiveness in leading upwards. This is called leading upwards. The ability to lead the leader. Okay. When the leader, when the in position wise, when the leader who's supposed to be over you is poor, then you have to lead upwards. So not easy, because when you are leading somebody who have higher authority than you and they have the power.
Hello.
Okay, hello. Can you hear me? I just disappeared.
Can hear? Can
Can
hear?
you hear me?
Can hear?
Am I back? Hello, hello. Am I back? Yes. Okay. Okay. Now, always remember, poor leadership. When your bosses have poor leadership, they don't provide secure environment for you. Okay. Okay. Poor. Yeah, I can hear you. Okay. Poor leadership do not provide secure environment for you. So you yourself have to be secure enough so that you are no longer dependent on a secure environment. There are always two area of two way to be secure. Everybody goes through this. We always find two ways to be secure. One way to be secure, the common way that most people find security is to find a secure environment. Meaning, when everything around us is secure, safe and secure, then we feel secure. However, there's another form of security, of being secure. internal security. Internal security is when inside our heart and mind, we are clear about ourselves, right? And we are clear about what we want. We are clear about our values. We are clear that our value beyond what anybody can manipulate us with. That's internal security. Now, internal security is not dependent on environmental security. That means in a storm, a strong person can still be secure. Poor leadership is like a storm. That's why I say in an organization of poor leadership, usually the poor leader create not a very good, secure environment. So when the environment is not secure, the question is this: am I secure enough? Can understand? Which is why we need to work on this. That's why this chapter helps. A lot of security comes from knowledge and understanding, and then from practice. Okay? Once we learn the right principles of life, we adopt the right value and the right perception of self and of life, we gradually develop security. Yet, the right results. It will also create the right emotion. It will also create the right peace of mind and conscience. And that provide that sort of gradually enhance personal internal security. Okay? Once we do not have the right thinking, we do not apply the right principles in life, and then whenever we try to live out life gets messy, how can we feel secure? We do things and then everything doesn't come out right. When we try to understand, we cannot understand. Where's the security? You see what I'm saying? Security of the mind, security of the heart, security of the emotion, security in terms of our action, leading to positive, effective results. That's why knowledge and understanding is very crucial. Knowledge and understanding, and we start applying the right knowledge and understanding, we are creating result and we are feeling secure. It affects our emotion, it affects the stability of our mind, and it also creates effective results. Can make sense? So work on it to grow that internal security so that in the midst of a situation where you are under poor leadership and the poor leadership do not create a secure environment, you internally is secure enough to stabilize the insecure environment under poor leadership. Can understand what I'm saying? So let's just grow towards it. Let's continue to grow towards it. Okay, any question, any comment, any feedback, or any, yeah. Hello. Looks like my internet extremely bad.
No, can hear you very well now. Oh, he left the meeting already.
Maybe he waited too long. Because his side, the sound will delay when transfer to here.
Oh, I see.
Okay. So maybe if nothing else, maybe good night, everyone. Mhm. Yeah. Last three questions, so quite fast. Okay, bye.